Hey, I am here with the man, Dr. Russell Osguthorp, doTERRA's Chief Medical Officer, infectious diseases physician. Doesn't get any better than this.
Hi, everybody.
And I asked him about our MetaPower Advantage. And I've been kind of enjoying it. So I would mix mine up. I would drink it over like a 15-20 minute period, right? Making it last.
And I watched her do it.
Yeah. And what did you share with me about that?
So the main ingredient that we are focused on in MetaPower Advantage is the yeast longevity complex. And what we want to do with that is increase our internal level of NAD. So understanding dosing and pharmacokinetics, it's much better to drink that as a bolus than to drink it over a half a day or something like that. So whenever I'm taking MetaPower Advantage, I put it into a small amount of water and I gulp it down very quickly. 1, 2, 3, I'm done. And that allows all of that ingredient, that yeast longevity complex, to hit my bloodstream at the same time, be converted into NAD and drive my NAD levels up. That's the whole point.
And why do we want more NAD in our body?
NAD is this master molecule that leads toward health span and lifespan. And so
it makes us younger.
Makes us younger. So we really want the advantage of hitting all of that NAD at the same time.
I love it. So we're going to drink our MetaPower Advantage super fast now. So we had some questions come in about yeast as we talked about our Advantage product, which is amazing.
Yeah.
We talked about the NMN source being yeast, and we had some questions about, hey, I've got Candida, I've already got overgrowth of yeast in my body, I don't want to take it anymore. So I'm here with Dr. Osguthorp to answer your questions about yeast specifically. So the yeast that we talked about that we use to make the NMN is in our MetaPower Advantage product.
Yeah.
Is it the same yeast that we have growing in our body?
No, not at all. Not even related in the slightest. So Candida albicans, is a pathogenic yeast involved in lots of problems, causing many human issues. It's also a part of our normal flora. And when we get discombobulated in some way, when we have our...
When we're stressed,
when we're
take
stressed,
antibiotics.
all sorts of reasons can disrupt our normal flora and allow Candida to overgrow. And then we have problems, right? The yeast longevity extract that we use to make MetaPower Advantage is made up of Saccharomyces. Saccharomyces is completely different than Candida, really not even related. Technically, they're both yeast, but it's way different than apples and oranges, okay? Saccharomyces is a species of yeast that we use to make bread, for example. And in our formulation of MetaPower Advantage, it's an extract. So there are no live yeast in MetaPower Advantage. It's an extract of Saccharomyces.
And
so
most of the NMN on the market is synthetic.
Yeah.
And we wanted to go with a very natural source. That's very important to us. So that's why it is actually derived from yeast.
Yeah, so please do not think about all yeast are the same, all yeast cause disease. Not true. Saccharomyces is completely different than Candida. If I could flip a switch and make you stop worrying about it, I would.
So if they take the MetaPower Advantage, they're not going to have increased Candida in the body?
No, it has nothing to do with it at all.
Yes. So explain to them also, many people say, well, if I need increased NAD in the body to make me younger, I call it the youth molecule, right?
Sure.
Why don't you just give me NAD? So can you help explain that?
So metabolism is a little more complex than just saying you want something, and if I feed myself that, I'll get all the benefits from it. So what we do with the yeast longevity complex is we take an extract of Saccharomyces, which contains the whole biosynthetic pathway that leads to NAD, and we give that to our own metabolism, and our cells then can move through those same metabolites that are in the sequence of going to NAD and then create NAD from that.
Right. And our body is that, so NMN is the precursor.
One of the precursors,
right? I love that we go through that
the whole pathway.
So that our body can produce its own NAD.
Right.
So it takes us back to a more youthful state when we're 20, 25 years old.
Exactly.
That's what we all want, right?
Yeah, we'd all love that. And our cells can function that way if we give them the right machinery. That's what MetaPower Advantage does.
Yes, we're juicing those cells. We're giving them the fuel they need to do what they need to.
exactly.
Or what they used to do when we were 20.
Yeah.
So the last question that I saw that came in today was, when is the best time to take MetaPower Advantage?
Totally depends on who you are. So MetaPower Advantage can be taken any time of day. It will have its intended effect of raising your NAD levels.
Right.
But some of the benefits of NAD and its precursor molecules like NR and NMN that have been studied in the literature, some of those benefits, like decreasing fatigue, improving athletic performance, or improving sleep, regenerative sleep, those need to be done differently depending on your age. So,
yes.
For example, the older you are, the more likely you will retain benefit from MetaPower Advantage by taking it later on in the afternoon or early evening.
In fact, there's a study that actually showed for those that are 60 and older
that it works much better when you take it at night.
Right, before bedtime.
Before bedtime. So
you
again, you guys have heard me talk about that
much
before.
Much younger than 60.
Much younger.
Yes.
Way younger than 60.
We're going to probably benefit more from taking it in the morning.
Correct. But depending on where you are on that spectrum, so you might be metabolically a little older than your biological age.
Yes.
So you might perform better if you take it later on, even if you're 54 or something like that.
Right.
So you don't just wait till 60 and take it. If you're not feeling the fatigue or regenerative sleep benefits that we would want you to, try a different time of day. And the older you are, the more likely you're to experience benefit later on in the day.
And you might be 60 and have the biological age of a 45-year-old. Or you may be 45 and have the biological age of a 60-year-old.
Correct.
So just know the state of your health to know when it benefits you. Kind of listen to your body when you take it. I prefer to take it in the morning. I take it right after my workout, and that's when it works best for me. I take 2 sachets because I'm trying to regrow bone. I definitely want to regain my youth even sooner. So I double up. I'm a super user, but figure out what works best for you.
I do it at night. I take mine after my workout. I exercise in the afternoon, and then I take it after dinner.
Yeah. And how many do you take a day?
1.
Yep. There you go.